So I did promise you very quickly, because I have so much trouble trying to condense all of this information that I'd love to share with you into a 30-minute presentation. I'm already over time. I want to show you a few different trees so you can understand how tree shapes can change. So I promised you a look at some trees. So I want you to take a little look at a few of these different trees here, and these are just a range of different wooden trees. First of all, have a look at the shape of the head here. So we're not just talking about the gullet angle, but we're actually talking about the sheer width of the head on this one in comparison to this one. This one's broad and more hoop shaped. So that's lower in the head, shorter points, and broader between these two railing angles here. If I tip them up for you, have a look at the difference between the space here and the space here. So the railings are further apart on this one than this one. If I showed you from the side as well, it's a little bit difficult to see. You're probably even still better. You can see that this rail angle is fairly flat, whereas that is very pitchy. This one's more designed for a thoroughbred shape, although I don't actually love this tree. I wouldn't want those rails that close together because we run the risk of damaging the nuchal ligament on the horse and not having enough room for the withers. The other thing that can differ in trees as well, not only is the head, but actually look at the arc. So that's the shape through the body of a tree. And if you have a look at this one, you can see that this is sitting quite flat to the table. If you have a look at this one's curving up. This is more suitable for a flat-backed horse. This is more suitable for a horse that's got more shape through its body. Now, if I put this curvy shaped tree on a flat-backed horse, it's going to rock. So when we think back to that pressure distribution problem, we are not going to get even pressure from the front to the back of this tree, and it's going to be moving and rocking and causing tension and increased pressure through the center, as well as probably some bruising under the back. Equally, if I put this very flat, broad tree on a more thoroughbred shape, we're going to have it bridging. It's going to be touching at the front and the back, and there's going to be a gap in the middle. Apart from the fact, look how broad and flat this rail pitch here is. If I've got an A-frame thoroughbred shape whose ribs drop off this direction, it's not going to have any pressure distribution through the panel. It's going to have more pressure on the inside edge of the panel and not enough support on the outside. So tree-shaped profiles, that skeletal structure of your saddle, is really important because it's the thing that is going to help distribute the weight of your body, the weight of the rider, over the greatest surface area of the horse's back muscles so that we can limit the amount of pressure over any individual muscle group or joint when it's trying to work. Final thought for you, your panels. Your panels are there as shock absorbers. That means that the material that's in them has got to enable the weight that you're putting on them to be spread evenly. You can't have lumps and bumps, you can't have hard bits. There's got to be loft to it, so that's the springability or the shock absorbability. The one thing that panels can do for us is they can actually change the balance of the saddle. So if I have a deep panel behind, it will enable me to keep the balance a little bit more forward in the tree. So that's, for instance, with who's a horse that's uphill and the saddles tend to tilt back. If I have a deeper panel at the back, I can bring that balance back even again. So the horse is not getting too much pressure at the back end of the saddle. Equally, if I've got a downhill shaped horse and it's got some atrophy in the wither pockets and it needs more support in front, I could have a deeper, thicker panel in front, and it's going to enable the saddle to sit up and again distribute your weight as a rider as evenly as possible from front to back, side to side. And that's the key to saddle fitting. Your saddle features, design features, have got to match your horse's individual back profile. We haven't even covered what you need as a rider yet, but just from the fact that the horse needs that pressure distribution to be even in order to use its muscles and joints correctly is an important take-home message for you. So I hope you really enjoyed this presentation. I know I've raced through it. If you want to learn more, there's lots of resources that we've put on the platform for you so you can download them and read them.